What's up, guys? I'm Jasmine. Welcome to the Plan J series. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about my prerequisite course experience. I had a few classes that I needed to finish so that in the event that I got accepted into a physical therapy school, I could start with no problem. So let's jump into it. All right, I have a unique experience, not uncommon, but unique in the fact that I finished my degrees and then still had extra prerequisite courses that needed to be taken, which is not like uncommon. People do it all the time. But typically you'll hear about people taking the prerequisite courses that they need to apply to physical therapy school while they're doing their degree. So I just want to talk to you guys about what it was like taking my prerequisite courses outside of a degree program. So we got to go all the way back to 2020, okay? Because I graduated with my bachelor degree in 2019, December 2019. And when I graduated, I still had physics 2, chemistry 2, biology 2, to take. Those were the 3 classes I still needed. I ended up taking four prerequisite classes actually. So back in 2020, when I was at UT Arlington, I finished my degree program and then I just enrolled in another class as a non-degree seeking student. So I did have to pay out of pocket for that class because I wasn't in a degree program. Financial aid usually only covers people who are enrolled in a degree program. So if you are taking your classes outside of a degree program, that's something you should be prepared for, is the likelihood that you will have to pay out of pocket. It's also tricky trying to find scholarships when you're not in a degree program because a lot of times they have requirements like you being enrolled in a specific degree program or you being a junior or a senior or a freshman or whatever the case to be qualified to get the scholarships. So that was another thing that was a little bit difficult. Thankfully, I was supported by my parents. They are awesome, super grateful for them. So yeah, that's something you should be prepared for if you are taking your prerequisite courses outside of a degree. So when I took physics 2, college physics 2, I was doing okay, and then the pandemic hit and the class went online, and honestly, that was a blessing in disguise. I was upset at first because I felt like it was ruining my grade, my opportunity to get a good grade. But, being online kind of took some of the stress away as far as like how the lab was supposed to go. So I made it out okay. I got a B. And so we moved forward. Now fast forward to fall of 2020. I had also planned on doing a master's of business administration while I finished up my prerequisite courses. So I started that in the fall of 2020. And so the pandemic was kind of like ending a little bit. They were kind of figuring out a good way to go about classes by this point. And I was also taking general chemistry too. And I hit a rough patch because I was just feeling so depressed. I hated my master's of business administration classes. It was so boring, okay? Oh my goodness, I hated it so much. I was struggling mentally with chemistry. Like I just wasn't engaged. I wasn't mentally there. I was battling with this like idea of, okay, I have to be passionate about physical therapy school, and I'm not feeling the passion. I wasn't feeling it at all. I hated the fact that like as a student in college, you could be struggling, drowning in like work or just outside issues, and your professors really have no clue because they have so many students that there's no possible way that they could know that you're struggling unless you say something. And I hated how easy it was to just kind of like slip through the cracks and like struggle. And I remember I pulled up one day on campus for lab for chemistry, and I sat in the car and I was just so like in my thoughts. I was like ruminating on all the negative thoughts I was feeling, and I left. I did not go to the lab that day, and I had decided I was going to drop my MBA program, and I was going to drop my chemistry class because I wasn't happy. But I didn't know what I was going to do if I did that. So before I like committed to dropping all of those things, I found a new master's program that I could do, and I ran away from the idea of pursuing physical therapy. So that's kind of why I got my master's program. It was in sports science and rehabilitation, and I loved that because it was a mix of athletic training and physical therapy. Like some of the classes we took literally talked about physical therapy, like upper and lower body rehab. Some of the classes were athletic training based. So it was great. A lot of the classes were similar to what I took in undergrad. So biomechanics, exercise physiology, functional anatomy. I loved it. I loved it, honestly. Tried to get some jobs after my master's degree. That didn't work out. I have a more in detail story in the ebook that I published. It is in the description. It's free if you want to read it. So I started doing my shadowing and my observation hours in December of 2023. In January of 2024, which was this year, I started my inpatient rotation, and I started my biology class, general biology or college biology 2. And I took it at the same school that I did my master's at, and that they offered online classes and online labs. So it was great. The teacher experience, the college and the instructor that I had was a tough one. Sometimes I was very stressed about just the things that I experienced, but overall I did well in the class. And then in the summertime, I took chemistry 2, general chemistry 2. I was back face to face with chemistry once again, and thankfully it wasn't bad. I had a really good instructor. It was also online, so I had an online lab, and the class was online, and that went well. I was very stressed because I was thinking, man, I need to restudy all the stuff I learned in general chemistry 1 to be successful in general chemistry 2. But I'm also trying to study for the GRE. I was putting so much pressure on myself. And then on top of that, I was also filling out my application for physical therapy school. And I had just got a new job. It was a lot. I was very overwhelmed, but I made it. So I turned in all my applications, right? Turn in an application for one particular school, and one of the requirements for the school is statistics. And so I was like, yeah, I took statistics during my undergrad degree. And then when I submit it, I see the detail about how this statistics class that I used for the prerequisite had to be a class that covered ANOVA, analysis of variance, which is a statistical concept. And the class that I used for that on my application was elementary statistics. It did not cover that. So I realized that I needed to take another course. So I ended up having to email the school, that specific school, saying, hey, I caught this error on my application. I got a letter from my school registrar because I decided to take biostatistics because biostatistics was one of the courses, the approved courses that school had listed to cover that requirement. And so I got a letter from my registrar at my school, and I downloaded a copy of the syllabus and I emailed it to the representative that was listed on this school's PTCAS page. Every school has a page on PTCAS, and they have contacts that you can contact from that school. So I emailed it to them. They never responded, but hey, at least I did it. And then when they reached out to me for an interview, they brought it up during my interview. At the end, they were like, oh, it's just one more thing. There was something about your application. The admissions committee, the the admissions committee said there was something about your statistics class, and I said yes. And I had brought a copy of that letter from the registrar and a copy of my syllabus for that class to give to them in person. And I just finished that biostatistics class on Friday, actually. So I'm officially done with all of my prerequisite courses. They went well. They were online. I took them all with the school that I went to take my master's. My master's was also an online program, so it went fairly well. Did have to pay out of pocket. They did have payment plans, so that was helpful. But yeah, that was my experience taking prerequisite courses outside of a degree program. It wasn't too hard because I took one at a time. If you have the time, I recommend taking one prerequisite course at a time, especially if you're also balancing a job or just other responsibilities. If you have to pay out of pocket and you're on a payment plan, you might have to work and go to class, so you might be working to help pay for the class. It's just a lot that goes on. Try to take them one at a time if you can, just for your mental health and the ease of everything. But I understand that sometimes that's not feasible, so try to plan these things out accordingly. Thankfully, you have up until the semester before your physical therapy program starts to get everything finished. So that's a good thing. You don't have to worry about having it all finished before your application, because I didn't. And it's very common for students to still have prerequisite courses that they need to finish, because some students are applying while they're getting their undergraduate degree. So they haven't even graduated yet. And so they still have classes they need to take before they start their physical therapy programs. So they know this. They understand that you might not have everything finished when you're applying. But if you can, please plan to do everything in an amount of time that will not stress you out. Okay, that would be the biggest thing I could tell you. And if you're trying to take these classes outside of a degree program, prepare to pay out of pocket unless you have like scholarships or grants left over that you can like use to go toward that. But yeah, that was my prerequisite class experience. I took 4 prerequisite classes in total outside of my degree, and it went well. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. I'm so happy that if you watched some of my TikToks or my shorts, you know that I did get accepted into a school, and it actually ended up being the school that I had to take the biostatistics class for. So look at God, like look at how he works, man. I was kind of frustrated when I had to take biostatistics, because I was like, man, I have to take this class just for one school. This is the only school that requires this class, and what if I don't even get into that school? And like, look at me now, like I got into that school. But I was saying that to say, make sure you have a good idea of all the prerequisite classes that your schools that you're interested in are going to require, so that you can get them done in a timely manner, and that you have everything needed that for your application, or that you will have it completed for your application. So yeah, that is everything that I have for you. If you have any questions, please comment them below. As of right now, I haven't had that many views on my videos, so I'm waiting for like the algorithm to like pick them up as people start searching for videos to help them with applying to physical therapy school. But if you have any questions and you're interested in the same thing, I am here to help you for now, because once my physical therapy program starts, I might go missing again because it's very rigorous. But thank you for watching. I hope this helped you, and I will see you guys in the next video.